Morning guys, I got another update for the C3vtwin floorboards. If you remember from my previous video, I did a video on these when I went down to Tail Dragon and my buddy put these on for me. And we were doing some experimentation with these little mounts here. Remember I removed these boards for these for a more sporty feel. One of my complaints with these boards were they sat too low for my legs. And so another thing he worked out with these boards, you see these mounts just bolt right on here. He also made me some special spacers. So these are going to be optional when you buy these boards if you want them to sit up a little bit higher. So these already sit, if I remember correctly, ever so slightly higher than the stock ones. So these will actually just raise it up a little bit more. So what this will do is this will just go between this mount and this board right there. So slide this on and then bolt this on. For this job, you need a 6mm Allen, 13mm, a 5mm to install these, and a 2mm to adjust these set screws here. So one of the things we were talking about when we did this little mod here was when you're installing these boards on your bike, you want as much adjustability as you can get. So he made these two little Allen screws here. So what happens is when this is on here, you can adjust the angle of your board. So you can either have them perfectly parallel, you can have it angled out a little bit or angled in a little bit, depending on how you like your feet to sit. So something different that nobody else is really doing. It includes some Loctite and all of the little screws in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these old mounts that we're not going to use anymore, install the spacers, new mounts, and then we'll work on getting these adjusted where they need to be. So he does provide your own Loctite, but I already have it, so I'm not going to open that. I'm just going to save that for another day. I do have my medium Loctite over here, so I'm just going to throw that on all these nuts and put them in here. And that's not that right. Let's go on one of these. Alright, with the spacers installed, get down here at eye level, you can see how much taller these were from this center bolt here. Then you come over here and you can see how much taller it is here. So that means that your foot is going to be this much from here to here, that much higher sitting on the bike, which means that your knees will be more of an angle and more of an aggressive stance. For the set screws, there's long ones and short ones. I'll double check, but I believe, yep, the long ones are going to go inboard because of the way that this mount's curved here. So again, what it's going to allow me to do is I can fine tune where this sits. So I know some guys want them in just a little bit more. Some guys kind of like their feet sitting out here, so they want it out a little bit more like that. So I'm just gonna install them, bring it over to the bike, put the bolt through, and see kind of how I want mine to sit. Okay, so with the taller ones included, they're screwed in all the way. That will make the board sit out this way. I don't want that. I want it actually in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two tall ones out. They're threaded all the way in, so I'm going to take the two tall ones out and put two shorter ones in its place. He includes those as well in the kit. Alright, with a little fine tuning, I have these exactly how I want them. Bolts through. So I'll show you guys how I did it. Even these out, both sides. If you want to, you can measure with the micrometer how much you have these in or out, and take them back out, put thread locker in, and put them back in the exact same. I'm not going to do that mainly because once you bolt all this down on there, I don't see where they're going to go. But for those that like that extra security, go for it. So I have it fairly tight where I want it. But yeah, so it'll still move just a hair, just in case you get a little low and you hit these, which you're gonna hit everything else on the bike before these touch the ground. But I'll go ahead and throw the supplied nut. It's a nylon knocking nut he has for the back of these. Throw that on, and then this side's good. I don't mind my sweatpants, but it's a rainy Sunday morning. So I'll kind of show you exactly how your knees are going to be down. So before with the prior boards, you're kind of down here. Now you're up here, and put your brake in a nice, quick spot for your foot. He's coming out with a new set of pegs that will match this style. So they should be here Monday. I'll throw a little short about that up. But overall, I really like the footing position. When you want to ride more aggressively, you kind of put your foot here, and then it rests right here. And then obviously when you're cruising, you can put it up here. But the higher level is really nice. I think this is about as close as you can get to mid controls without spending the almost, what I think it's like $3,000 for the Barnstormer kit, which would put your foot here. So it's a kind of a happy medium. For the brake, what you can do is, so if you look at, I don't remember if I covered this in my last video or not. I think I did, because the floorboards were so much lower that the brake was really high up. So what you have to do is you take this clip off here, and your brake, the pedal folds back, and then you unthread this piece here, and then you have this threaded insert into your master cylinder. So what you do is you take a set of channel locks or something, and a Dremel or a little Sawzall, and you cut, I think I might have cut an eighth inch or quarter inch off of this rod. Then you thread this back in, and then that lowers your brake lever. You can't thread this in anymore with the length of the rod, because if you thread this piece in, then it hits this piece and you won't be able to get your brake pedal back on. So you have to cut this if you want this lower. That really helps, like when you're riding more aggressively, you don't have to move your foot nearly as much to hit your brake. Hopefully somebody comes out with a set of adjustable levers, but for now, that's the mod you got to do. So then I'll get to ready on the other side. So both sides on, obviously the side's the exact same as the other side. And since this is now taller, you should do this even if you don't install spacers, but you'll want to adjust your shift lever. Also depends on the kind of boots you wear. So if you wear thicker boots, you want it higher. If you wear riding shoes or whatever, you want it lower, just so you don't have that much room there. All you do there, take a 13mm wrench. You'll have this nut here. It's reverse thread, so you're going to spin it this way, and you have this nut here. same deal. And then you just spin this bar. And as you spin the bar, obviously you can see the shift lever going up and down. So you just adjust it where you like it. Since I wear riding shoes and riding boots, I kind of keep it in like happy medium. I don't have it too far up and I don't have it too far down. So I'll sit here and play with it and see where I like it with my riding shoes, and then I'll adjust it a little bit higher for when I wear my boots. Okay, try and show you exactly how it's going to sit. So obviously I'm 5'9", and the bike is lifted 2 inches front and back. So my feet, I can still flat foot it, but as soon as I go to take off, the angle of my leg is much better, much higher. See, brake right there, super easy. I'm very happy with these. So far, nobody else has came up with anything similar to this, and I'm just glad that somebody in the market is making more parts for the Challenger platform. That said, also, if you have a Harley, I believe any of the newer baggers, he also has brackets for these exact same boards that fit on Harleys. So if you have a Harley, yep, the board itself is the exact same. It just changes these two brackets here. These do come in a variety of finishes. I chose this raw finish mainly because this is raw. Obviously this is silver. I have no plans of blacking any of this stuff out. So just kind of the theme I was going for. I believe these come in gloss black, flat black, chrome. I'm assuming you can do other anodized colors if you request it, but these are live on his website right now. He's a small shop, so these are somewhat made to order. Like, he does it in very small batches. So he has a batch of these, a couple in raw, a bunch in black, some in chrome, ready to ship out with these mounts in stock. I'll throw the link in the description, and I'll also throw the other link in the description when I first got these when I was down at Taylor Dragon. I've never scraped the bottom of this. I have scraped the bottom of this. I have scraped the bottom of this. So if you're worried about de-scraping, don't worry about it. Especially if you have like a mid-length like Sawicki pipe or something like that that doesn't hang out the back, or if you don't have these covers, chances are you're going to scrape your bags well before these hit. So ground clearance is an issue, and these are super light. So let me know what you guys see in the comments. Big shout out to Ryan over at C3 for coming up with such a cool product. Until the next mod.